I'm fighting for an end to mountaintop removal.
I'm working to protect my future and that of my niece and nephew.
And I'm fighting for greener jobs in America.
I am fighting for the souls of the cities.
I'm fighting for environmental justice.
I'm fighting to make people healthier.
I'm working for an end to environmental social inequality.
I am working toward promoting a healthier lifestyle in every way for everyone together.
I'm fighting for environmental justice in the whole United States.
I am fighting for black people all around the world.
Okay, I am fighting for sustainable energy.
I am working towards 100% renewable energy throughout the world.
I am working towards defeating the Keystone XL pipeline and the extraction of tar sands.
I'm Colin Bennett. I'm from Connecticut. I'm here with an organization called Allies for Social Justice. We fight for an end to white supremacy, patriarchy, and all other forms of oppression. And specifically at Power Shift, I am here because I'm deeply committed to climate justice and an end to mountaintop removal.
My name is Catherine Hilton. I work with the Mountain Watershed Association. We're home of the Youghiogheny Riverkeeper. We were formed in 1994 in opposition to a deep coal mine in the Laurel Highlands here in Pennsylvania. Since that time, we've now established 5 remediation sites for abandoned mine drainage, do a little bit of trail maintenance, and again, are home of the Youghiogheny Riverkeeper, and I administer a project called the Marcellus Citizen Stewardship Project, where I work on making sure that people have access to factual information about what's going on with shale gas industrialization in this region. There are a lot of untruths that are going around about a lot of it is chemicals that would be under your kitchen sink or similar to something you might use in your pool for a biocide, and unfortunately that's not really accurate to the air toxins and water toxins that are actually involved in the life cycle of this development of methane.
My name is Karina Gonzalez and I belong to Greenpeace.
I'm Lindsay Huff. I am from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm working with SPEAK, which is Students Promoting Environmental Action in Knoxville.
Hi, my name is Minka Smith, and I'm part of the Labor Community Strategy Center, and we have 2 main campaigns, which are Community Rights Campaign, which is geared towards the ending of criminalization for Black and Brown youth, and the Bus Riders Union, which works with environmental justice and transit racism.
My name is Andrew Sarpolis. I am from the Sierra Club, and I am fighting for environmental protection across the United States.
I'm Stephen Ty. I'm from the Environmental Coalition at Virginia Tech.
My name is Sharon Leone, and I'm from Paducah, Kentucky, and I'm a student at Western Kentucky University. These issues are something that I want to keep with me for the rest of my life and gear a career towards, because it is something very meaningful to me and something that should be meaningful to everyone else as well. And I want to help empower people to realize that.
My name is Paige Hugart. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, but I'm studying at Western Kentucky University.
My name is Cameron Tyler. I'm from Richmond, California. I'm located in New Orleans now, going to Dillard University and HBCU, and I'm new and kind of ignorant to the environmental justice thing, so I decided to come and partake in it. But where I'm from, Richmond, California, it's a big place where a lot of environmental justice needs to occur. Basically, it's a lot of plants and it's a lot of gas that goes in the air and that affects the residents living there. And it was a big Chevron explosion about a few years past, and that basically a lot of the residents were affected, and just now they received money basically for the explosion. So that's just something that I grew up around, and now I'm in New Orleans, and a lot of environmental justice needs to take place there as well. So it's kind of like it's good being from both places because I can attack both those areas. So yeah.
My name is Peyton Wilkins. I'm coming from originally Detroit, Michigan. I live in New Orleans right now. I intern with the Deep South Center for Environmental Justice. I'm a fellow with the Environmental Justice Climate Change Initiative. Most of my work in New Orleans is around research, and we're researching the impacts of climate change on vulnerable communities.
My name is Hodan Abdi Kadir, and I'm coming from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I am a junior at Patrick Henry High School.
My name is Adam Fishman, and I graduated from Wesleyan University in 2012. and actually just got back from a job in Copenhagen, Denmark at the Danish Institute for Study Abroad, where I was coordinating their sustainability and environmental classes. So as the Sustainability Program Assistant at DIS, I coordinated the administrative part of their classes, as well as planned their study tours, which are these extended field trips that showcase European sustainability initiatives, both within Europe as well as within Denmark. So for example, we would take our students out to a wind farm, explain the economics behind it.
So mountaintop removal is a form of coal extraction where instead of mining into the mountain, which has historically been the way that coal is extracted, instead coal companies have figured out that it's much cheaper to actually just fill the mountaintop with explosives and systematically blow up the mountain. And then they take what was the mountain and they dump it into the adjacent valleys, completely destroying not only the ecosystems of the mountain, but the communities surrounding the mountain. So it's among the worst things that are happening on the planet, quite literally, all for a very small amount of coal. So it absolutely needs to be stopped or abolished right now.
The most important issue to me is there are solutions, and we need public support from the majority of Americans, and we need our government leaders and officials to step up to the plate and bat for us instead of big industry.
I think the most important issue in the climate change debate is divestment from fossil fuels.
I mean, most obviously, we need to get away from dirty energy like coal, fracking, nuclear, and really invest into renewable energy, which is the most important thing in my life right now.
Well, one of the main issues that we talk about is the grasp that capitalism has and the way that it has basically entered into every aspect of our society. And we're looking at that in larger forms, such as looking at the fights and the struggles that indigenous peoples are especially experiencing around the world, and also, bringing the idea of racial injustice into this topic as well. What we have to understand about how we are going to be able to keep living on this planet, and that's something that we can't just keep thinking about ourselves and what we're doing in this moment. It's more of, getting the world to realize that we have a future, and without working on what we need, without thinking about that future, what are we going to do for our kids and our children's children? It's something that really needs to be talked about because a lot of people are trying to ignore it.
I think the most important issue in the climate change discussion is transitioning from the dirty powers we use traditionally to the clean powers that can provide a sustainable future for our country.
Industries that are causing climate change, so factories, chemical plants, things like that, are very severely affecting low socioeconomic status people and just affecting their health and things like that. And it's kind of a repercussion that we don't think about a lot of times. I think about the effects, having on the environment and the carbon in our atmosphere, but it's also having an effect on the health of our people and keeping low socioeconomic status people in an oppressed environment.
One of the most important issues in the climate change today is the economic paradigm over the environmental paradigm. So the environmental paradigm, it includes the climate, but it also includes people. And you have to realize that people are more important than profit. And even though people demand progress, it is made to seem that they demand it more than they actually do. I think people need to be thought of first.
I want to learn more. I'm in New Orleans, but I don't know a lot about Katrina and everything. I want to learn more about that. Was one thing I was listening to one of the panels. They were talking about man-made disasters and natural disasters, and I kind of want to learn more pertaining to man-made and natural. Like, are they really natural, or is it a little man-made inside? Is it mostly natural? That was something that interests me as well.
To me, the most important issue in the climate change discussion right now is the whole issue around just development. People think that going green is a good thing, and it is. It really is. But it's about who gets the liberties or who gets the agency to this going green that really matters, and that's important to me.
My personal interest is international climate change negotiations. I think that really broad-scale policy has, of course, the widest effect. That said, there is, of course, a lot of merit also in, local or state-level campaigns. Just my personal interest is kind of biggest possible picture. I think international cooperation is extremely important, especially because, for example, say if in the Northeast you win a campaign to shut down a coal plant, there's nothing preventing that area from, say, importing energy from Canada that's from the same source or from an equally unsustainable source. So I think that until you address transnational issues or international issues, you're not really fully mitigating the problem.
I think that challenging the fossil fuel industry is the biggest issue that we're working on right now.
That a lot of people are haunted by the idea of climate change. How can you not? I mean, we see lots of things every day. I'm from Arizona, where like summer is like 120 and they're getting longer and longer, you know. How can you not notice that and look to the future, you know?
With everything happening so much more often and much more frequently, it's hard not to think about that kind of stuff all the time.
Well, one thing that really comes up is the fact that a lot of people don't have sustainable sources of water and food, and that's something that we really need to focus on, because when people don't have, food to eat, how can we keep on living with knowing that there are people who are starving in areas? It's a basic human right, and that's something that I think about a lot, especially, growing up in an area that a lot of people don't have access to healthy foods.
Climate change and all sorts of environmental issues are my life. So far, I've dedicated all I have to them, and I spend every moment thinking about it.
This is something that I think about all the time. I mean, everything that I do is toward being healthier and helping other people. It's not even something that's really covered in the classroom, honestly. It's something that you have to do on your own. You're not going to be taught XYZ to fixing the world, so you've got to think about it all the time.
I would say start somewhere. I would definitely say start somewhere. You're not going to have as much support, and you're definitely not going to have as much people behind you, but definitely start somewhere, because it's getting worse, and definitely you need to build your foundation, because it is getting worse and everybody's will eventually be affected by it.
I want to do something that helps the environment, because I don't like the way that we make energy. It's like very unhealthy, and I want to help people that create better better ways to create energy. So I want to do that when I get older, hopefully.
Sustainability is definitely something that is always following me, but at the same time I don't integrate it into everything in my life. Like I'm part of a softball league. I really like playing foosball, listening to music, going to concerts, but at the same time, say there's a giant something that's sticking out, say there's a coal plant in the distance, that still kind of irks me. I wouldn't say it's completely entrenched in my life, but it's definitely one of the more important things in terms of my values. Without a work-life balance, you'll get burnt out, I think. So even though it's definitely an important value to have, I don't think it should be the paramount thing that you strive for at every single second. Otherwise, you also don't want to be the person who preaches 24/7, because then people get tired of you. So I think there's an important balance that you have to strike. To those people, I would say, well, first, don't give up. This is an uphill battle, absolutely. At the same time, I think international partnerships are extremely important. For example, in Denmark, there's the Nordic Focus Center for Renewable Energy, which is actually partnered with a sister organization in Mali that's working towards developing community-owned renewables that are just on a very small scale. So there are resources internationally, and at the same time, you just keep going. You have to.
I mean, I think climate issues affect us all and are going to be affecting us more and more and more. And it's definitely something I'm thinking about all the time.